When you hear the word rosary, what comes to mind? A string of beads, right? Maybe something your grandma kept in a drawer. You might see it as a relic for deeply religious people, tucked away in quiet churches, something that belongs to a different time or a different kind of person. But what if you're mistaken? What if that simple loop of beads is actually one of the most powerful and surprisingly science-backed tools for transforming your life? A tool that can physically change your body's response to stress, sharpen your focus in our age of distraction, and build mental resilience that rivals expensive wellness trends. And here's the kicker: it can do this for anyone, regardless of your background or what you believe. We're about to explore 5 surprising reasons the rosary works for everyone, even you. These aren't just based on faith, they're backed by data, history, and the raw experience of people from all walks of life. And the 5th reason? It might just change how you see everything. So, set aside what you think you know. Let's begin. Let's start not with prayer, but with your breath. In our hyper-anxious world, everyone tells us to just breathe. But what does that really mean? Well, wellness experts and researchers have pinpointed what they call the perfect breath, a rhythm of about 6 breaths per minute. Inhaling for around 5.5 seconds and exhaling for 5.5 seconds is the physiological sweet spot. It flips the switch on your body's fight-or-flight mode and activates your natural calm-down system. This rhythm is proven to improve heart rate variability, a key sign of good health, lower blood pressure, and help your whole cardiovascular system run at peak efficiency. Companies have built million-dollar apps just to teach you this exact breathing pattern. But what if I told you this perfect breath was embedded in an ancient practice centuries before anyone thought to measure it? In 2001, researchers at the University of Pavia in Italy did something fascinating. They hooked up 23 people to sensors monitoring their heart rate, blood flow, and nervous system. Then, they had them recite the rosary in Latin. The results were astounding. As the participants prayed, their breathing naturally, almost unconsciously, slowed down to that magic rhythm, about 6 breaths per minute. The sensors lit up, showing their bodies shifting into a state of peak calm and efficiency. The moment they stopped praying and started talking, those benefits vanished. The researchers noted that similar patterns can be found in things like yoga mantras, but the discovery was undeniable. The very structure of the rosary, the cadence of the prayers, the pause between sections, naturally guides your body into a state of profound physical calm. Think about that. This isn't about belief, it's about biology. Before you even get to the spiritual side, the simple act of vocally praying the rosary is a powerful form of physiological regulation. It's a free biohack hiding in plain sight. In a world where we're desperate to manage the physical toll of stress, here is a tool that measurably calms your body, optimizing the very systems that keep you alive. We are pouring money into our mental wellness. Mindfulness apps, meditation retreats, therapy sessions. It's a booming industry for a good reason. Rates of anxiety and depression are through the roof. We're told mindfulness is the key, observing our thoughts and finding peace in the present. And the data backs this up. But recently, a groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Religion and Health revealed something that stopped the wellness world in its tracks. It found that praying the rosary appears to offer comparable mental health benefits to these mainstream techniques. Researchers surveyed 361 Catholics across Italy, Poland, and Spain and found a clear link. Regular rosary prayer was associated with higher overall well-being, more empathy, and significantly lower levels of depression and anxiety. The lead researcher, Father Luis Oviedo, even said the study began because he was frustrated that thousands of studies explored mindfulness, but almost none looked at the rosary, even though it's clearly a form of repetitive meditation. And who were these people praying the rosary? The study shattered stereotypes. A staggering 62.2% of them held graduate or master's degrees. This wasn't a practice for the uninformed, it was a chosen tool for highly educated people navigating modern life. It also debunked the myth that such a practice leads to isolation. In fact, more rosary prayer correlated with increased empathy and social connection. But the real story is in the human voices behind the numbers. Participants said the rosary gave them spiritual peace, calm, and confidence, 26.3%, and helped them in coping with problems, 10.2%. One person's words are especially powerful. Praying the rosary saved my life. After my husband's death, I couldn't cope with the pain and emptiness. Every day, I reached for the rosary, and it gave me the strength to survive. Without it, I don't know how I would have managed. The rosary is a free, accessible resource for psychological well-being. It requires no app, no guru, and no subscription fee. It's a timeless, effective tool for mental health, available to anyone willing to try. Life is fragile. We all face crises, a sudden illness, the loss of a loved one, or just the overwhelming weight of a chaotic world. In those moments, we search for something solid to hold on to. But what helps us endure the profound, life-altering storms? This is where the rosary reveals another of its strengths. It's a powerful framework for resilience. This isn't about feeling calm for a few minutes. It's about fundamentally reshaping your ability to navigate suffering with strength. Qualitative studies, like one from Germany looking at adults who regularly pray the rosary, give us a window into this. Participants described the practice as a vital resource for managing major life crises and chronic illness. They said the rosary fostered a sense of acceptance and stability when everything else was falling apart. The rhythm of the prayers and the feel of the beads created a safe, predictable space in the middle of unpredictable turmoil. Think of it like an anchor. In a storm, an anchor doesn't stop the wind or calm the waves. It holds the ship steady and keeps it from being smashed on the rocks. People in these studies didn't say the rosary made their problems disappear. They said it gave them an anchor of inner peace that allowed them to endure the storm. It helped them let go of the frantic need to control the uncontrollable. One of the most common effects reported was a deepened trust in God and therefore in life. For those who aren't religious, you can see this as a profound acceptance of reality, a shift from fighting what is to finding a way to move forward within it. The rosary, with its meditations on a life full of both joy and sorrow, provides a container for this process. It acknowledges that suffering is part of being human, but it refuses to give suffering the final word. It doesn't promise a life without storms, but it offers a way to become the kind of person who can navigate them without breaking. Our world is waging a war for our attention. Notifications, endless feeds, breaking news, our minds are scattered and perpetually distracted. The ability to just focus on one thing has become a superpower. We struggle to be present, to finish a thought without interruption, or to simply sit in silence. In the face of this, the revered saint, Padre Pio, called the rosary the weapon for these times. While he meant it spiritually, the analogy is shockingly relevant for the psychological battle we fight every day against distraction. How can a string of beads be a weapon against the digital age? Its power is in its beautiful, intentional monotony. The rosary is repetitive by design. You say the same prayers over and over. This is medicinal for a distracted mind. The first time you try it, you'll notice how unruly your brain is. Your to-do list, that email you forgot, that awkward conversation, they'll all pop up. That's normal. But the rosary gives you something to gently return to again and again. Each bead is an invitation to bring your focus back. It's mental training. Every time you catch your mind wandering and guide it back to the prayer, you're strengthening your focus muscle. Over time, this builds serious mental discipline. You're training your brain to resist the pull of distraction, and that enhanced focus doesn't just stay in prayer time, it bleeds into the rest of your life. You find yourself able to concentrate better at work, listen more attentively to a friend, or just enjoy a quiet moment without that compulsive need to check your phone. The Rosary fills your mind, leaving less room for anxious, distracting chatter. It creates a mental sanctuary. By choosing to spend 20 minutes filling your mind with meditative words, you are actively pushing back against the noise. You are declaring that your attention is valuable and you control where it goes. In an age designed to fracture our focus, the discipline cultivated by the Rosary is indeed a weapon. It's a way to reclaim your mind. We've seen that the Rosary is a physical, mental, and psychological tool. It calms your breathing, rivals modern meditation, builds resilience, and sharpens focus. But the fifth and final reason is what ties it all together and elevates the Rosary from a self-help technique to something much more profound. It works because it connects you to something larger than yourself, to history, to the shared human story, and ultimately to the deepest parts of you. First, to pray the Rosary is to hold history in your hands. This practice is ancient. It's famously linked to the Battle of Lepanto in 1571, where a Christian fleet, asked by Pope Pius V to pray the Rosary for victory against impossible odds, inexplicably won. When you pray it, you're joining a chain of human beings stretching back centuries who held these same beads and whispered these same words in times of fear, hope, and joy. There's a powerful solidarity in that. But the connection goes deeper. The heart of the Rosary isn't just repeating prayers, it's meditating on the mysteries, key moments in the life of Jesus and Mary. They're divided into 4 sets: the joyful, the luminous, the sorrowful, and the glorious. You don't need to be a theologian to see that these cover the entire spectrum of human life. The joyful mysteries are about the hope of new beginnings, the luminous about purpose and mission. The sorrowful guide you through betrayal, suffering, and death, the parts of life we can't escape. And the glorious point toward triumph and the hope of something more. To meditate on these is to meditate on your own life. You're invited to bring your own joys, your own mission, your own deep sorrows, and your hopes into this framework. It provides a sacred space to process your story and find meaning in it. It connects your personal narrative to a universal one, reminding you that you aren't alone in anything you experience. This is where all the benefits come together. The rhythmic breathing calms your body, the focus quiets your mind, and the resilience prepares your heart, all creating the perfect state for this deep, contemplative work. It's a holistic piece. This is the ultimate reason the Rosary works. Whether you see this connection as a communion with God or a deep psychological integration of your own life, the result is the same: a profound sense of peace and belonging. It takes you out of the lonely island of your own head and places you in the vast ocean of shared human experience. It tells you that your life, with all its messiness and beauty, has meaning. And in the end, that may be the most powerful reason of all. So, the Rosary is far more than a dusty artifact. It's a biological tool, a mental wellness practice, a framework for resilience, a weapon for focus, and a bridge to a story larger than your own. You don't have to be Catholic to experience this. You don't have to have it all figured out. It's an invitation, not a test. If you're curious, the call to action is simple. Try it. Find a rosary or use your fingers. Look up the prayers online or watch the video on my channel titled The Rosary Prayer Tutorial, and maybe for just 10 minutes, give it a shot. Don't worry about getting it perfect. Focus on the rhythm, your breath, and see what happens. This ancient practice has survived for centuries, not because it was forced on people, but because it works. It meets a deep human need for peace, focus, and connection. In our frantic, fragmented world, the quiet wisdom of the Rosary might be the surprising remedy we've all been searching for. If this opened your eyes to a new perspective, consider sharing it with someone who might be struggling. And thanks for joining us as we explore the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern life.